All right, Gemini. So you have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for a lot of you Geminis is hold on a second. Okay, so you Geminis met someone recently, or yeah, how do I say this? You're reflecting on how it is that you've met people that you think that the two of you are going to be in a very good relationship, because these are people who seem like they have a lot, and they seem like they're looking for somebody to share all of that with. And the Knight of Wands, you're willing to get to know them, right? But then something happens, right? The Eight of Cups. Then something happens, and that ends up in you having to leave them, or the two of you just don't end up in a real relationship, long-term one. The Three of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, right? Three of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune is about how you're in a situation where the Three of Pentacles is because of the lack of effort that those people put in, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is about how a lot of you Geminis, you think of it like you have to compromise. And you know, you think of it like, are you ever really going to get out of it? The answer is yes, you can. But like I said before, trust has to be established with honesty. The two of you has to be able to establish trust. The Three of Pentacles is that you have to be able to identify if a person is even willing to allow a situation to develop to where the two of you can actually be in love, right? Because love has to deal with duty and responsibility and trust and all of that good stuff already wrapped up in it. Play, fun, all of that stuff wrapped up in it. But we need trust. If two people are lying to each other and they act like they don't understand why they broke up, well, how can you even act like you don't know how you broke up? The two of you don't trust each other, right? But the three of Pentacles is, here you are putting in an effort, putting in two efforts. Here they are not putting in enough effort. So now the Wheel of Fortune represents, so this is where the self-doubt comes into play, right? Are you ever going to actually get out of this? The answer ultimately is really up to you. You're going to have to search around. This is why I'm, honestly speaking, I'm a strong advocate for meeting multiple people at one time. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you should interact with those types of people in that way on an intimate level. I'm not saying that you should be doing that. What I'm saying is that meet some people enough so that you can kind of get a better understanding of who you're hanging out with, right? And you're not just doing it one person at a time. Now, the Ace of Swords represents, and when you find that the two of you have that kind of real good relationship, then obviously stop dating the other people, or stop hanging out with the other people, and then hang out or date this one person. So the Ten of Cups now represents, so as a result of this, the Ten of Cups is really about how, if not, then you essentially have to leave these people alone. So let's recap this. If you don't want to date multiple people, you just want to hang out with one person, you have to look for traits of if they're generous. If they're not just generous with the stuff that they give away, but if they're generous in heart too, meaning that they legitimately want to help you, right? Pay attention to things like, also pay attention to things like, to make sure if when they talk to you, they talk straight. They talk to you directly. It's not a double entendre. Every single minute that they talking to you, you have to overly read into everything. These are very good traits for you to watch out for, to understand if a person is good and they would be good in a relationship and if they would be good for you. Is the person open-minded? That's big. If the person is open-minded, then it means that there's room for growth. If a person is stuck in their ways, more than likely a relationship is not really going to end up being very prosperous, because you need open-mindedness in order for the two of you to grow together. Because the two of you are not going to be the same people if you're doing it right. Eventually, the two of you will grow. But if only one person is growing or nobody is growing, this is not really a real relationship. This is more so a situationship where, the two of you just happen to be comfortable with each other. Now, the Ten of Cups now represents, and if that happens to be a situationship, then don't hang out with these people anymore. The Seven of Pentacles now, the Seven of Pentacles now is about how, and also, pay attention to why those people like you as well, right? And why you like them. Do you like them for their character? Do you like them for their money? Same thing with you. Do they like you for your body? Do they like you for your character? Do they like you for, the fact that you can, a lot of you may know a lot of people, or a lot of people may be calling your phone and stuff like this, and they want to compete, which makes no sense, because people sometimes say that they want to compete and then they don't. Makes absolutely no sense. The Five of Pentacles and the King of Swords now represents, and just pay attention to things like that. If these people are not showing you signs of character, like they could be trusted, they actually follow through with what they say that they're going to do, they have, right, you ask them, right, where is all of this type of stuff going? As you hang out with them 2, 3, 4 times, right, you asking them, where is this going? Well, what are we? Where is this going? What value is this? What are we? And they just say things like, oh, we just chilling. I don't know what this is. I don't even know what this is. Then that's how it is that you Geminis know that there's no real relationship there. This relationship is not really going to have any kind of meaning. A lot of this stuff is going to be in vain. It's going to be for nothing, basically. So the King of Swords now represents, but a lot of you Geminis have to learn to use your mind. You have to learn to use your mind. You have to learn to be very aware. You have to, you got to get to a point where even the slightest form of running game on you, you pick that up, but you see it, and you give a person enough time to see if they're really running this, or if this was just something that you saw, right, that wasn't necessarily there. You have to be that good at being able to pick up people's dysfunctions and know if this is a serious dysfunction, because dirty fingernails are not necessarily a serious dysfunction, but or a serious problem. But a big dysfunction would be something like they're lazy, something like that. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the Five of Pentacles. All right, so to clarify the Five of Pentacles, we have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Justice. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you is, I'm seeing how a lot of you Geminis, again, to clarify the Five of Pentacles, you want to be able to have something special between yourselves and somebody else, but only if it's right, right? Ten of Wands, don't compromise. And what I mean when I say compromise, I mean dysfunctionality, right? If a person good and well is lazy, and you see that, right, from the beginning, or you see that they're being lazy somehow after they get comfortable, you got to leave them. Give them a little chance, but then ultimately you have to leave them, especially if they're doing it immediately, like up front. You're getting to know them and it's early and they're already doing this. You got to bounce. You got to bounce, because You have to bounce because, again, they're already showing you how lazy these people can be. So what do you think the relationship is going to be? The Page of Wands and the Justice now represents, and eventually, if you learn to spot those things, you should be all right. You should be able to spot if a person is being truthful or if they're lying.